Oh, do you hear the fun voice? That was pretty fun. Turn it up. Let's go. What is everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. Let's go, man. Arguably, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and say it, the funnest Winners Lounge of the year.
Yeah.
Previously beating the Thunder, but I think this one tops it. Nuggets get the win, 140 to 127. Who's the number one defense in the NBA?
I thought it was the Thunder.
That's what I thought too, man. But 140 points by your Denver Nuggets in a dominant performance from Jokic. Ooh. Dominant from Jamal. Dominant from the Booth Boys. Oh, man, there's so much. Kale, we're going to go 7 segments today. We're not doing 4. We're doing 7.
I'm ready.
I got Harrison Wind in the building.
Man, what a night, man. The Nuggets didn't win the most important of these 2 games, but it doesn't matter.
Classic
It
Nuggets.
doesn't matter. I want to know what Stephen A. Smith has got to say about this game. I want to know what Kendrick Perkins' Red Hawk Roofing takeaways are from this game tonight.
Not going to mention it. I promise they will not talk about this
Why
game.
not? Like, what?
Doesn't fit the agenda.
It was a great night of basketball, man. That was such a fun game to watch.
It really was, man. So many good things to talk about. I know a man who's happy. D-Lightco.
Oh, it's pretty good. Good night. The vibes vessel overfloweth.
Yeah.
We are. I am chock full of vibes. I don't know what to do with myself. I think what I'm going to do is just smile for a whole hour.
I think that's a good one. That'll be pretty good. And rounding out the show, Superstar Dev.
You guys are not gonna believe what I seen downstairs at the bar. I seen D-Line giggling. I seen him high-fiving people. I seen him screaming. The vibes might be back.
Man, they
The
might
vibes
be back,
might be
baby.
back.
I cannot believe it. It was such a good game with a lot of really, really good details. Let's go into the fast breakdown, shall we?
Make it slow.
Oh, man.
Talk slow to me.
You know what? First, no, tells the story.
Always
Nuggets open with great energy.
Oh, wow.
That was the story because tonight the Nuggets brought it. From an execution standpoint, from an energy standpoint, it was like they had to see the Thunder play 2 times in a row to be like, oh, that's the level you have to play at. And they brought it for 48 minutes. Nuggets getting a good whistle early, and Coach Dagnott freaking out about it. Nuggets got a couple tic-tac calls in the first 5 minutes of the game.
It was beautiful, I have to say.
It was actually, it was kind of nice, although disgusting at the same time. Then Hartenstein was hitting the floater earlier. Third note never tells the story.
Dude.
Third note
What a freak.
13 points right away.
What a freaking fugazi.
If I watch that dude shoot another floater, man.
It's not even a floater. It's more of a push shot than a floater. Yeah.
Can we? I want to re-sign him just to cut him all over.
No more trash talk about my guy Hartenstein. All right, that's enough.
He missed all those floaters here.
The Nuggets started high trapping Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We might come back to that. Different strategy than what we saw last night. And then we go to, I swear to God, Michael Malone was doing this for me. He did it just for me. Yep. He goes to JALEN PICKETT, Peyton Watson, Zeke Naji together with Michael Porter and Nikola Jokic. Really? You guys want to know what happened? Nuggets went on a run. Woo! It was 34-32 Nuggets at the end of one. Second corner, same unit, only swap out Porter and Jokic, put in Russ and Jamal. So let's see what they do. They were flying around, and they were converting. Jamal Murray started to heat up. The Thunder went on a big run, though, about halfway through the quarter. It was a haymaker, like 18-4 run or something. They were hitting everything. Lou Dort was on fire. And then Jokic picked up his 3rd foul. Hartenstein picked up his 3rd foul. The game's starting to get a little weird. Thunder were shooting lights out from 3. Nuggets closed the quarter strong, and it was 67-73 going into the break. And then we find out that J-Dub was out for the second half.
Yes, he was.
Then we find out that Hartenstein is not going to start. They're going to mix up not just he was playing, but they weren't going to start him. They were going to totally mix it up. Very interesting. Then Jamal Murray scored 7 straight. Lou Dort had, how many threes did he have tonight? 8?
A million.
I think he had 8 threes. He was on fire the entire game. It was really crazy. The Nuggets had a chance to take the lead. I thought Murray took a hero shot because the Nuggets were feeling it. He kind of had like a running shot, didn't get it. They got close several times until Jokic finally drains a 3. His only 3 of the night, I believe. And that was to tie it. It was 101-99 Nuggets going into the 4th. And then we go back to the Adams special. Pickett, P-Watt, Zeke.
The Adam Special.
I'm just calling it the Adam
Whoa.
Special.
I thought the Adam Special first
Did
off
we
was
approve
like
that?
It's
I thought it was
for
3
what
eggs.
it
was. That was a lot of protein.
A lot of Adam
lot of
Specials
protein.
going around here.
It was good for you.
It was
Well, that Special's not
117-107. Nuggets that start of the fourth quarter with that lineup. Pickett, P-Watt, Zeke, Michael Porter, Jamal Murray. No Jokic. They were unbelievable. Flying around so hard defensively and Jamal Murray carrying offensively. 117-107 with 8:50 to go. Jokic and Shea back in. And the Nuggets just executed. Russell Westbrook hit a 3. Peyton Watson hit a 3. There was an insane call. The only thing that almost stopped momentum in this entire game was the illegal screen call on
What
Jokic.
a bullshit call. I'm sorry, Kale. You got to write a report.
Write a report, Cal.
I'm sorry.
Write a report, but that was bullshit. That was bullshit.
Goodness.
It was absolutely insane. I thought it might change momentum, but no. Christian Brown said, you know what? I'm just going to hit my own 3, put him up 15 with 3:30 to go, and the Nuggets just run out the string from there. Oh, that was great. Whew. Let's go to our Red
That was
Hawk
a
Roofing.
great fast recap.
Big takeaways. Thanks, homie.
My Red
Superstar
Hawk
Dub.
Roofing big takeaway in this one. There's so much to hit on, but the one that like stands supreme is when Jamal Murray is playing at that level. There's not a team in the world that could beat the Nuggets.
So true.
And this is my first time like feeling like they could win it all. But it's because that was my first time feeling like Jamal took the game personal.
Yup.
And when he takes the game personal, when he's playing at that level, I feel like there's a pecking order that everyone else aligns to. This was a game that the pecking order was very clear. Jokic is the best player in the entire world. Jamal is right there, and I feel like he was the second best player on the court tonight, and that's with the MVP favorite. But then after that, it's like everybody else is going to do their job. You're going to see defense. You're going to see the bench unit. You're going to see Malone be able to get creative with the defensive like matchups and things like that. But it all started with Jamal playing extremely well and extremely aggressive. I loved what I seen from him
It did,
tonight.
man, and it came on the second night of a back-to-back. You know, like I've stopped really even trying to predict like how Jamal is going to look game to game. If it's a back-to-back, if he's on rest, because it just seems random. But, I mean, maybe he was motivated by last night. Maybe they were pissed off. I hope they were. And he came out and balled out.
It was incredible, man. Murray really is the key. Had himself a heck of a night against arguably the best defensive backcourt in the NBA, and he absolutely cooked. Sauteed, if you will. All right, D-line.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is we're back. We're so back, dude. The game is.
Are we back or is it over?
We're so.
Do you have something to say?
We have to consult the science.
Do you have something to say, Kel?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, no,
We're so
back.
Also, we really
Also-
might be, though. This game might be a we're so bad kind of game.
Also, as long as we're firing up scientific instrumentation, fire it up, Gal! Yeah, let's go! Let's go!
That was a
All
Bubba
of
Murray.
the signs are
my
pointing in the right
God.
direction. I said
Calvin
on
Booth
this,
also genius tonight.
yeah, fire that up too. I had no faith in the Nuggets winning tonight. I said on this very pregame show that they were going to be cooked because they didn't have Aaron Gordon. I still don't think that they can win it all without Aaron Gordon, but my God, what a gutsy performance from my Denver
Yes.
Nuggets to go back into the lair, go back where they got honestly like kind of humiliated the night before. If you look at just the final total and the way that the conversation then rolled out based off of last game, to come in and just absolutely handle the Thunder and beat them at their own game. They were defensive. They were making stops. They were doing all of the things that they did not do last night. They did all of them tonight. Like Jamal Murray got 1 million shots last night, didn't hit any of them tonight, was a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
We were watching problems with, defensive breakdowns. We were watching problems with, Jokic got hurt. He wasn't nearly as dominant as we have come to expect him last night. Tonight is a whole new day. It's an entirely different story. The Denver Nuggets showed up to play, man, and they, even though no one's paying attention but us, they absolutely reminded turns out the NBA, again, the initial intent of remind them, the Nuggets are back, man. You cannot write this team off. They've got what it takes, and whether or not they're able to put it together, whether or not the health luck is on their side, the Denver Nuggets are still an A-tier team, and they can absolutely win it.
But see, D-Line, the thing is, the reason why, because we do this a lot, right? They're back, it's so over, they're back, they're so over. We ride the roller coaster. But this win was...
This is real.
But this was an S-tier win. Like, they had to play at a level You just want to know what the ceiling is. And this was the ceiling to this point. And that was a really good ceiling. Can they sustain it? That's going to be another question. But we hadn't seen this all year. We hadn't seen this level. This was a new level of Denver Nuggets basketball that they reached tonight, and it was awesome.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that Peyton Watson is the X factor to this team for the rest of the season. I'm not going to say he's the key.
Been saying.
Because Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are the key to this team. And Jamal is what will make this team win a championship when it's all said and done if they do get there this year. But Peyton Watson can elevate himself to one of the most important guys on this team. And you saw why tonight. I mean, 4-4 from 3 was insane. But what he was able to do on offense, the 2 blocks on defense, 24 minutes off the bench for him. Clearly, the 6 most minutes out of anybody that played today. And, he was out there for some massive, massive stretches. That run in the fourth quarter that you talked about. I thought he probably should have stayed out there to close the game even. But Denver pulled away. It was a really impressive game from Peyton Watson. Obviously the best he's looked since he's come back from this injury. And, what he provides, specifically on defense. But, you saw a little bit about what he could do on offense too. He's going to be the X factor for this team down the stretch and into the playoffs, no doubt.
He really is. 6 of 7 from the field tonight, which, by the way, is not going to happen every night. 4 of 4 from the three-point line. But it shows you he can. And then the defensive impact, just the plays, the extra efforts, the block shots. They were there tonight. 16 points.
And if he keeps hitting threes, that's just going to raise his confidence.
He's a max player if he's a three-point shooter.
I know, but I'm just saying, when you're not a quote-unquote good shooter, and you can get threes to go in games like this, that's the stuff that carries over to future games.
100%.
That is going to carry over to his next game, in a couple days here.
100%. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway.
Caca.
Got to take a second just to kind of acknowledge this was the Nuggets Calvin Booth envisioned. And I'm not saying he's a perfect GM. I'm not good or bad. TBD. There's a lot of things that go into it. But he went publicly in front of everybody and said, Zeke Naji, long, athletic, can defend. Peyton Watson, long, super athletic, can defend. Jalen Pickett. Drafted him at 24 years old because I got a bunch of young players and I need an older, more veteran, high IQ player to run the show and can play defense. What do we need around Jokic and Murray? Defenders. The offense we can develop over time, but we need the defense around them. You saw tonight, those 3 guys were the only bench guys that played, and they were awesome. Against one of the deepest teams in the NBA, they were all in the positive. And they were in the positive because their defense is incredible. I love that Michael Malone rolled him out tonight with Jokic and Michael Porter, with Murray and Michael Porter, with Murray and Russ, because that's your offensive engines. Those are your offensive engines. Everyone else on the roster, including Christian Brown, you guys just fill in the gaps and defend like hell. They did that tonight at such a beautiful level that it makes you think this was the blueprint.
And they scored 140 points.
And oh, by the way, these non-offensive players had scored 140 collectively. Those guys, Jalen Pickett is so fun to watch, and I'm so glad everybody gets to see it. Peyton Watson is still an up and down guy that'll make you, you're gripping onto the edge of the chair. But man, that guy can defend. And Zeke Naji, this is a tough matchup for him. Yep. I don't think in either game he had necessarily defended well. He got beat off the drive quite a bit, but he's still like a player that fits a mold of what you're looking for. This was an incredible night for Calvin Booth's vision because they beat the best team in the Western Conference in the exact blueprint he outlined. What happened?
We've been memed.
Really?
Well, yeah, Dev was just looking for the perfect GIF in the library, and there's some of us.
Oh, really?
On the couches.
On the couches.
Pretty well. Sorry to cut you off. You shouldn't have even said it.
I felt like I was cooking, and sometimes you feel like you're cooking, and then you look to the crowd, and they're laughing at a completely unrelated thing.
I was
and
locked in. I don't know about what goes on over on that couch,
that was good.
but I was locked in.
Kel, was that good? It felt good. Was I cooking? All right, I was cooking.
Never judge that.
All right.
Yeah, that couch is...
I'll throw it back to over here, Wind.
Jalen Pickett is a phenomenon right now. He gets the people going. He is feeding families, as the kids say. He's been incredible. When Jalen Pickett is good, you do see the vision. I mean, he does everything. He doesn't do anything incredible other than his basketball IQ and just kind of the little stuff that he does. But he's solid.
He's a great shot.
Pretty much in every area. His shot.
His 3-point shot is
if you're
so
ranking
solid.
guys you trust with their shots right now, He's maybe in the top 5. I don't know. You trust him from 3. You just trust him when he's out on the court. He's going to make the right decision out there. Rarely turns the ball over, even though he had 2 today. And yeah, you just look at this box score. +9, +7, +9 from the 3 guys that played off the bench today. Zeke, Najee, Peyton Watson, Jalen Pickett. That's pretty amazing.
It's really amazing,
against the Oklahoma City Thunder, arguably like the
deepest
bench
team
in the NBA.
Yep.
You already touched on the Booth boys and just like what you envision. I think that was like the key to this game is they gave more guys a run, but also there was an identity to the second unit where it didn't need scoring. It didn't, because Jamal had the scoring going, and they have like guys that can score. But also, it was all defense. It was all energy. It was all being focused on what your assignment is. And Jalen Pickett, he's a true traditional point guard in every sense of the word, that the game comes slow for him. But then everybody else is making smart reads. And, like, then they started to get, like, they started to get cute with the defense.
Yeah.
Started to get cute with the matchups and started putting them alongside Jokic, where it was like matchups you've never seen before or rotations that you've never seen before. But that's because there's like the confidence in them, and you know that people are going to do their job.
Yeah.
Everybody did their job in this one. This was an all Nuggets are good
it really was
type of game because everybody was involved. They had a game plan. They executed.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break, though. We're long in segment 1, so hold your thought. I got more big takeaways on the other side.
Shout out to our friends over at Breck Brew, and I believe today is the last day to enter into the drawing for their ice deck giveaway. If you guys don't know what the ice deck is with Breck Brew, it's pretty much 2 seats on the glass for an Avs game coming up here, and you get a table, you get food and drink, you get whatever you want. This VIP Avs experience, you can register for that, breckbrew.com. /ice deck. Link is in the show notes as well. The game is March 29th versus St. Louis. Free food and drink, 2 VIP tickets on the glass. You can drink Breck Brew when you're there. You can eat as much as you want. Right on the glass, March 29th versus St. Louis. Go to breckbrew.com /ice deck to enter. I believe today is the last day to do that. So get on it right now. Go to that link, breckbrew.com /ice deck.
I'm
Link in
looking
the show
over at
notes.
the Avs right now. So the ice deck is in the corner. It's like where the Zamboni comes out.
You have
and then
tables. It's like amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Really cool. So check that out. If you won the raffle D-line, it would be a little suspicious. Just
I don't
saying.
care.
Just saying.
No one's going to knock me off this cloud.
Tiny bit suspicious. Also, shout out to our friends over at Toyota. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. We're live, of course, from the Toyota Lounge. And trucks, they've always been a part of Toyota's DNA. They've built durable legends destined for greatness. Perfect for Colorado. Toyota, they offer 17 models with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4Runner. They also offer more low and zero-emission vehicles combined than any other automaker to give customers tons of choices to reduce their carbon footprint. 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. They got the RAV4, the Grand Highlander, the Land Cruiser. So many options. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mount States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota Eastern Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR, and it is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets. Let's go places.
Let's go places. We back?
Let's go to the second seed.
The second segment?
Second seed.
Oh, second seed. Are we in the second seed?
Yeah, the Lakers lost to
Oh, hell yeah.
Lakers
We're back.
lost to who?
Man,
to the Brooklyn Nets.
What?
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
it's
weird.
wild.
It's weird.
The Nets?
Yeah, it's weird.
You had a thought you wanted to get into?
Well, I was just so impressed. Again, I just want to re-hit on my point about how everybody who did something last night that was bad reversed course and did the good version of that tonight. Like, we'll get to him, I'm sure. Michael Porter Jr. played tough tonight. Jamal Murray played tough tonight. Everybody that kind of cowered last night or had a moment where you're like, come on, bro, like, you got to be stronger than that. Like, you got to do this, that, or the other. Everybody did it. It was so amazing. Like, a one-game turnaround like this where the Nuggets, like, really, you can tell all, like, kind of looked at themselves in the mirror and looked at each other in the locker room like, yo, we're not going to get punked twice by this team of a bunch of pros. What a pro wants.
Stop.
We want, like, this little squad, like, they've accomplished nothing. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they went out early last year because they're not ready for the big time yet, and they're still not. By my estimation, it doesn't mean they can't get there, but the Denver Nuggets are battle tested, and they showed tonight. Like, their backs are against the wall. Like, that's what that looks like. Like, we're gonna now cut off your strength in SGA.
Okay.
We're gonna double that, man. We're gonna make you go elsewhere, and we're gonna punish you for it, and you're gonna try to do what you did last night against Nikola Jokic, which I still feel like we need to call this man the algorithm, even though he's Jokic. And the
That's
Joker,
like a Jason Tatum type
I know,
nickname.
but the algorithm. He's the algorithm. He's got as a secondary. Like he has the answer, whatever it is. Like you feed him data, he finds the way around it. Like you're not going to beat him twice in a row like that.
No. Jokic really was incredible tonight, but we got to talk
Did you
about
know he
Jamal
shot
Murray.
15 of 20?
Unbelievable.
Sorry, we could talk
Well,
about Jamal
here's
Murray.
my other
But 15 of 20
is insane, man. Missed 5 shots.
on 2 bad elbows.
How many of those did he
And a
rebound
bad
to?
foot.
Probably rebounded 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah,
I guess.
probably. I'll have to go back and
also,
check the
is
film.
one of them the heave that he shot?
One
as
of
a
them
hook
was
shot?
the heave. The hilarious heave.
That counts.
Yeah.
That was
funny.
incredible. One other big takeaway before we get into players here, and that is, I kind of referenced this earlier, but the Nuggets, some teams elevate their play for big games. Some teams do that in October, November. I think the Thunder are very good at playing execution basketball, playing hard, doing all those things. They're deep. They develop a lot of guys so they can go hard all year. The Nuggets are kind of the opposite. They don't do that very much at all, and it's why they've never won more than 57 wins, even though they've had great teams. But tonight, you wanted to know if they could elevate, and tonight they elevated their effort.
Yep.
That was the playoff effort, and that's what I just didn't know. Yesterday on the show,
exactly
we were
right.
like, are we sure we're not just projecting the 2023 team onto this team? And we're like, why haven't they hit it? Maybe they can't. Tonight, they showed us they can.
Absolutely.
Can you do it consistently is a whole nother question. But
Yes.
at least now we know they can once.
Yeah, I mean, but that's important. It's about the response. It's not just that was the best, defense in the league. That's the front runners for winning the West. That's the team that they feel is going to come out of the West, and it's a measuring stick. You got embarrassed yesterday where it was like, hey, you have no chance with this team. There was a lot of people that were down in the dumps, of course, after seeing them, the team play how they've been playing, and then they don't respond. But then today, you respond, and you not only like make it close, but you blow them out and show them like we could get into that bag and things like that's important. So I think that it's the way that the Nuggets are playing, and that's what you needed. You needed hope, but you needed execution. You needed them to like see, okay, we're going to play defense. We're going to play hard on offense. We're going to have the best players on the court, and they're going to show up. So I think it's how deep they went.
Yeah, it was impressive, man. And like you were saying, there was a lot of talk and discussion about how the MVP race was over after that last game. Like Stephen A. Smith pretty much presented the MVP
said it at
award
halftime, I'm telling
to
you.
SGA at halftime.
Such a clown.
That was quote unquote decided last night. And I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just reading into some things, and I got to think that a lot of people on the Nuggets heard that and saw that. And I think that pissed this team off. I saw a quote from Vinny Benedetto just a second ago that said, Michael Malone floated the idea to Nikola Jokic that he could take tonight's game off.
I love it.
And Jokic's response was, quote, hell no.
Hell no.
I think the Nuggets were pissed off about some of the stuff that was said after that game last night.
I hope.
And, Jokic hears everything, even if he doesn't actually read it and see it with his own eyes. People will tell him what people are saying. And I think the Nuggets digested all of that and were like, okay, let's remind them.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Just to stick on the MVP race being over, this was as bad of a response that you could have if you're the leader of the charge for the MVP.
But the race is over, Dev. It's decided.
That
It's
was
done.
insane. Because it wasn't close. It was not close. Jokic put up 35. He put up
18
35,
and 8.
18 and 8.
Yeah.
And then SGA.
He very nearly had a 30-20-10 game tonight.
And then
Very nearly.
SGA, he had 25 points. He was the third, out of all the players on his team, he had the third most of field goal attempts, which I know never happens. Shout out to Christian Brown's defense on him. But he was, wildly out of that game. He was not part of that game, truly.
Not like last night.
Well, also shout out Michael Malone. I mean, they did. Kale, you have the image I sent you. Can you pull that up? Do you have it ready to go? because they changed up their defensive coverage tonight, and we're sending two guys all the way to the logo, really half court, just to get it. And what is nice about this, you see where they are, two guys, and he's at half court. And the reason you do this so high is because if you allow the trap at the 3-point line, you're near the basket when the ball goes to the guy in the center of the court. By doing this up top and getting the ball out of his hands up top, there's time and space to recover behind him. So I thought it was a very interesting and obviously it worked very well. Adjustment from Michael Malone tonight to go to that, and it's why Shea had to get the ball out of his hands. And by the way, this is like the Jokic rules or whatever we're calling it. It's the guard squeeze equivalent of that. Of like, well, we'll just trap you in the backcourt, and we'll see if your guys can beat us 4-on-3. And this is one of the questions people have about Oklahoma City. Shea, as great as Shea is, what happens if you force the ball to get out of his hands?
But that was the question that we had going into the game. That feels like it's not the first time, but it feels like the first time that they went to like a double team or like we're going to just take him out of the game and see how they respond against a really good player and a good team where, you wanted to see if they would have that in them where they could just slow a guy down and try to have somebody else beat you. You're okay if Lou Dort is knocking down 8 3-pointers and that's the one that's taking all the shots.
Yep.
If Hartenstein is having to take floaters from the free throw line every time, that's shots that SGA is not getting. That's him not getting comfortable and making it hard. I'm glad that they showed it early on. You need to respond to that, and I hope everybody starts doing the same thing so they can see what it's like to get double teamed and have to go through that. I think that it was just great to see for a game that the Nuggets had a plan and stuck with that plan.
Yeah,
and you can also do that when Jalen Williams is not playing too. They don't have that second option.
Although they were doing it all when he was out there too.
Definitely,
But just you see again, like you see guys that are feeling good about themselves early on when Shea's being doubled, so they turn to a Hartenstein, they turn to a Chet, they turn to all these other guys and Lou Dort, and there's no pressure early in the game. They're on cloud 9. They're hitting shots. It's fine. Things start to get tight as you go down the stretch, and you see Isaiah Hartenstein turn into a pumpkin. Like he turned into a rotten pumpkin. Like that push shot got so comical as time went on. Like he was almost airballing them.
Like in the playoffs, he would miss one of those and then just not shoot it again.
Never again. But like they took it out of Shea's hand and they're like, okay, cool. Like we're gonna let all you other guys beat us. And it's funny how quickly a team looks like they're the deepest team in the league to looking like they're unbelievably shallow. They have no other options once you take Shea out of it. It's just it's weird how that works, man.
But that's why the playoffs are so different. And like I told people in the pregame that I've been talking to some of my smartest people I talk to around the league, just trying to get.
Thank you again.
Not on the show last night.
You texted me last night.
Yeah. I just so the scouts and different people and the message. I was just so surprised how many people are like, dude, Nuggets are fine. Nuggets look great. They're tier 1. They're a tier 1 team. And it's because it's just understood that the playoffs are about adjustments and about the things you can do. And in the regular season, you just kind of win on just your skill level and your talent and those types of things. But tonight shows you're going to scheme for Shea. And now Oklahoma City would have to make an adjustment on that. But the real truth is, Yoke was incredible. Again, 30, 20, and 20 on Friday, and damn near 30, 20, and 10 tonight. Almost. It would have been so great if he got 2 30, 20, 10 games in 4 days.
MVP race is over, though, so it
doesn't matter. That the MVP race was declared over, which means. But the real story to me is Jamal Murray, because Yoke does this all the time. I mean, he does it every other night. He's got a stat line like this. Jamal Murray, 34 points against the best defensive backcourt in the NBA. He looked comfortable. And honestly, he made a lot of guys look like they were just guys tonight. Alex Caruso, Case and Wallace. Like a lot of Lou Dort. A lot of guys took turns at him, and he just went and scored in a variety of ways.
Yeah, he was quick. He was fast. He was getting to his spots. He was blown by guys.
Yeah.
And we don't see that every night from Jamal Murray. And, this was the second night of a back-to-back after a tough physical game last night. You thought, maybe Jamal wouldn't play tonight. Maybe he would look a little rusty, a little slow. It was the opposite. He looked as spry as he's looked all season.
Yeah.
This was as athletic and quick and fast as Murray's looked in a long time. And it was just another reminder of how he can rise to the moment when the moment calls for it. Played 40 minutes tonight. Tied with Jokic for the most on the Nuggets. That was also tied for a game high. His shot was going. He got to the line 9 times. That's a stat that shows you like how good he was feeling. The fact that he got to the line 9 times, was drawing fouls, was attacking the rim, 6 assists, 0 turnovers. It was
0 turnovers against that backcourt, man.
So dope.
And he did make those guys look like they were just guys, just average defenders. The same guys that looked so good last night. And it was really just a classic Jamal Murray bounce back.
That's
Kale, we got to take a break again. I know it keeps happening. We're gonna get more Jamal on the other
This
side.
stinks, dude. We're trying to vibe
We're
out.
trying to, but Kale keeps yelling at me.
Kale stinks.
Colorado Lottery. Shout out to the Colorado Lottery. You can get your hands on the limited edition $5 Denver Nuggets scratch game from the Colorado Lottery. Overall top prize, $50,000. $50K you can win on this Denver Nuggets scratch game. In total, there are 25 $5,280 prizes. Nuggets, Mile High Basketball. We know the elevation here. I don't know if you heard 5280.
Yeah.
You can win that 25 times in this Colorado Lottery scratch game. If you're a Nuggets fan, if you like scratch offs, if you're just, looking to spend $5 and maybe win $50,000, check it out from the Colorado Lottery. It's available now. The $5 Denver Nuggets scratch game. Do we still have any of those hanging around?
I don't
We
think
have Adam.
we
We
do.
have the one with the stink of Adam's.
Adam lost every game on that one. We just have the losing one. Okay.
Yeah, that means that Vote definitely went and cashed in the $5 one he won.
Vote one.
Squirreled it
Yeah,
away.
vote one. Check it out from the
Classic
Colorado
Vote.
Lottery. $5 Denver Nuggets scratch game. You can win $50,000 at the top prize, and then there are 25 $5,280 prizes as well. Also, shout out to Shady Rays. Shady Rays. They've been with us for a while, and because of that, I now have like 10 pairs of Shady Rays. Have one for every type of occasion. I was in Mexico. I got perfect Shady Rays for Mexico.
We call you Shady Harrison.
Now
when
I'm
you're
back
not
in
around.
Colorado. Have my Shady Rays for Denver. That's what you get with Shady Rays. Perfect sunglasses for wherever you're at. You can go to shadyrays.com and you can use the code DNVR for 35% off. Polarized sunglasses, rated 5 stars by 300,000 people. And when you go to shadyrays.com, you can browse their whole website. They have tons of different styles, colors, shapes, sizes, whatever you want. If your shades ever go missing, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacement guarantees. You can also exchange your new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. Use the code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses.
All right, back here, segment 3. Throw us a like if you're enjoying the show. Dev, you were
I
going to
actually threw a
throw
like.
on Murray.
I'm enjoying the show.
It was more about the Thunder. They have 3 of the best perimeter defenders in the entire NBA, and Murray did not see them at all.
Yeah.
Where he was making, like he was going all the way back out to like reset the play for ISO situations. The play at the end of the game where it looked like they were going to trap him in the corner, he was like moving so well to get out of those spots to like get into where he wanted to go. They could not control Murray, and they started going with the double team. They started trying to, force his hand of getting it out so early and making someone else beat you. But if you have Jokic that has it going on, you have Jamal going at the exact same time, there's not many things that a defense can do. And we got to see that with the best defense in the entire NBA. Like Jamal, he had it going very early, and that's when it's going to be a good game, and that's when the Nuggets are going to respond, is when he's playing that way. So it was great to see him have all that wiggle, ISO, a bag against that specific team. There's nothing that they can do with him if he's playing like that.
I mean, this is the point of the season where we point out every single year that Jokic does have an all-star teammate. He's just never actually been an all-star because he doesn't play hard at the first part of the year, and then everybody decides they hate him, and then we need to trade him. And then, like clockwork, around this time, Jamal Murray locks in, and it's just such a beautiful thing to watch those two of those guys operate. They are so comfortable with each other. And Jamal Murray, like, the way that Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic play, like, you still need spacing per se, but like Jamal Murray is so slippery where he can find dead spots. He can find, it's like, it just doesn't quite matter what the other guys
Jamal
are doing.
Murray, he finds some spots and some holes in the defense that other guys don't find because he
It's
plays
not like,
a little
it's just not
different.
like so rigid. Like they're just able to break whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say he also likes the spot on the court teams most usually concede, right? He likes the elbows, you know, the pull up in the mid range,
which is where SGA makes his living. Like Jamal Murray did. It was funny because in the pregame, I was saying that Jamal Murray's night last night looked so bad because it was in contrast to SGA, who was making all of the shots that Jamal was missing and doing all of the things that we were wishing Jamal would do. And he did it all tonight. He just did what SGA did the night before. He was throwing super saucy passes. He was just playing with supreme confidence. And it just watching those guys feel confidence, like how that can't make you, the viewer, feel supremely confident is just beyond me. I mean, like the Nuggets tonight showed me everything that I need to see out of this team. Like they have it still. And now it's a question of luck and health and just circumstance, you know?
What's interesting about this matchup, though, and when it comes to Jamal, is he shot 6 of 17 last night. It was a bad game from him, but we all did agree that he got some pretty good looks. He just missed. And tonight, he made a lot of those. So maybe it's not as tough of a matchup for Jamal as we might think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, possibly. Russell Westbrook, I thought, was also super impactful in this game. He was 6 of 10 from the field, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers. You know, his speed and stuff is just such like you need athleticism to meet the athleticism that they have. He had a lot of it tonight. What'd you see from him, Dev?
I seen energy again. I seen defense, which had been lacking, and this was an important game because this was the first time in a while that match or him starting looked good. It worked, and that was not supposed to happen against 2 centers or 2 bigs that they employed out there. But he just was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna just bring it to you." This was the first game in a while that there was not any smack in your teeth from his play. Because it was just all like, I'm gonna get an extra rebound. I'm gonna make, some crazy passes. He had
some great passes to Yoke tonight.
Passes in this one, like vintage Westbrook passes, where it was like no one else is even trying to make that play. I love the audacity type of passes that he makes when it's like that. But really, he wanted this one. He was locked in for the entirety of the game on both ends of the floor, and that was from the opening tip. I think that he took this like, hey, they saying that I can't be in the starters and make it happen. I'm going to make it happen to this one. So I really liked Russell Westbrook in this one. He was pretty calm, not pushing it, but I think it was just enough. He had the barometer.
What'd you think, Wind?
Westbrook, he was a positive tonight. Absolutely. I mean, the plays I most remember from Russ tonight are the couple threes he hit. But those 2 offensive rebounds that he also had very early in the game, I think both of them might have been in the first quarter. One definitely was very early on. That's the type of hustle 50-50 ball type of play that Russell Westbrook makes that not a lot of guys on this roster do.
Yeah.
Just those offensive rebounds where all of a sudden he's in the paint and he's got it and he creates an extra possession. That type of stuff is so valuable for this team because they just don't have a lot of guys who do that. And so he definitely showed his worth tonight. And I mean, the 2-man game with him and Yoke was in rhythm as well. He had some incredible passes to Yoke. Yoke had some incredible passes
They broke
back
the
to
defense
him.
in the fourth quarter where that was like they were getting the good stuff.
And the craziest part about that 2-man game is obviously the Nuggets spacing is terrible. So we've seen these good defenses just pack the paint and really compress in on these guys. They're making these passes in such tight windows.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like you've never seen anything like it because it's just so different than every other 2-man game out there. But it was a joy to watch.
What I liked is Westbrook is now starting to get the shots that only he likes. It's not like he's just shooting anything. Like there was a play late in the game where he had a open 3. He decided to take a step in to like shoot the shot. It didn't make it, but it was like, I'm going to take shots only I like. Right now he's knocking down the corner 3 and keeps hitting them time and time again. And then also you talk about that connection with him and Jokic. There was a couple of plays that really he just took the heart away from the Thunder, like with an extra pass back to Jokic. That one, like when he was under the baseline, Jokic passed it to him. He passed it right back for like nobody else is around. It's like, yeah, I got you. I love when Westbrook's playing like that.
And that three he hit, by the way, in the corner was such a big one because there was still like 6 minutes left in the game. Yoke's posting at the elbow. By the way, if you go back and watch this clip, Yoke is at the elbow, and I think it's Lou Dort that's on him. And Yoke does the thing where he's trying to like wait for Lou Dort to commit. Lou Dort's trying to disguise when he commits. And it was the ultimate game of chicken that Yoke was 100% in control of. Like he kind of like turns, if you notice such a small detail, if you notice he turns his body a little bit like this, and Lou Dort thinks he's about to spin, so he commits. But Yoke knows that when he does that, Lou Dort's going to commit and throws the pass. It's like he lures him in with a subtle move and then throws it wide open to Russ, and Russ drains it. And it was a huge shot because I think if he misses that one, the game gets a little close in the clutch. Who should we go to next? Let's talk Michael Porter.
Yes.
17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. I'll let you go first, D-Line. 3 of 6 from 3.
I mentioned this early on. Like, I was just so impressed with the strength that Michael Porter Jr. displayed tonight, the toughness that he displayed tonight. The thing that frustrated me from last night's game, it wasn't the stats, it wasn't this or that. It was like he was kind of soft in times when strength was required. And tonight he came out just like everybody else who did something poorly last night, completely reversed course. That dunk he had in the first quarter where it was just like very clear that Michael Porter Jr. was going for it, that he was playing with a different temperament, that he was playing with a different attitude, and that just carried forward. I felt so comfortable with him shooting threes. He felt comfortable too. He was knocking him down, and like he was just kind of doing what was needed of him to keep that extra pressure on the Oklahoma City Thunder when it wasn't Jamal and it wasn't Jokic. And then you have that third guy. It's like the perfect recipe. If I'm Calvin Booth tonight, like I'm just looking at this, just laughing. Like this is exactly
full glass of whiskey.
Yeah, this is like every
watching this show.
Every piece played their part to perfection. Exactly what you're hoping out of them. And I really didn't feel great again about not having Aaron Gordon in this matchup, but if you get toughness like that out of Michael Porter Jr., like it kind of nullifies a little bit for the time being the need for Aaron Gordon inside. So I kudos to him. I was frustrated with him last night, and I was like super impressed with him tonight.
Yeah, it was how he started the game. It was that dunk. Like when he has, first off, I think they should go through him early on because that's how he stays locked in, and like you could see the confidence there. That was an insane dunk. But then it started as a night like, okay, I'm going to play a little bit harder. I'm going to give some extra effort. I'm going to grab boards. I'm going to lock in defensively. And then you just have to just continue to like give him those type of plays throughout the game to like just make sure he's involved mentally. Because I really do think it's a mental thing for him. When he is reading what's happening and he's like playing within himself, like that's when he's at his best. And then that's when the shots are falling as well, is when he gets the bar early. This one he knocked down 3 3-pointers. I feel like they started shooting 3-pointers after that. When they see it go in a few times, it's like, okay, now Peyton Watson is feeling a little bit more loose. Westbrook is like, okay, I'm going to take a few shots. I just feel like it opens up the rest of the offense because you have an inside and outside of attack, and they get more field goal attempts up. So I really did like the physicality and how he responded to it, but I think it was because early on he said, I'm going to play well in this one.
I love it. I want to get to a crazy detail in this game that I did not catch on the broadcast.
Oh.
Apparently, the Thunder kept sending Dylan Jones to the scorer's table in the first quarter. Did you catch this?
No.
When Mark Dagnott got his tech and was freaking out, not related to that, but around that time, he kept putting Dylan Jones, who doesn't play for them very much, to the scorer's table and not checking him into the game. And after the game, he says the reason he did that is because he felt the Nuggets were playing too fast and inbounding the ball too quickly on out-of-bounds plays. So he kept sending him there so that the ref would have to give him an opportunity to check in and then say, no, never mind, and go back to the bench.
Dude,
he eventually got a delay of game because the refs were like, what the hell are you doing? But he said, yeah, man, it was a tactic to slow down because Yoke kept quickly inbounding the ball on dead balls.
That's
so dumb.
I hear everybody compliment him.
He is
I
a
do
genius.
not like this guy at
Dude.
all.
Oh, I love him. He's a genius. But
I think he's
that
a
is
scumbag.
corny. That's like corny
I think
genius.
he's a scumbag. Like, I really don't like this guy.
Scumbag.
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
I love this. Why think he's a scumbag?
I think he's too impressed with himself. Like, I really like he's walking around like chewing
know,
gum.
he's really, like,
he's like chewing
cocky
gum. He's like
and-
way too cocky now. He's had too much. Like, people have been feeding him too much
love this
praise and
I mean,
everything
he's
over
never
the last.
won anything.
He hasn't won anything,
Yeah,
and then he
love
acts
this.
as though he is.
Have
like,
some humility.
He doesn't act with humility. He really,
Yeah.
honestly, doesn't. He's like very impressed with his own like little tactics and this, that, and the other. Like that man absolutely needs to be humbled.
I think I like that he's thinking about it, but also what he's not thinking about. Think about Dylan Jones' family. They think he's about to get into the game. And they're just like, every
He's using this poor guy as a
yo,
pawn.
come on, man. He's just got to keep running back and forth. He's taking off his jersey for the first time, and it's like, we didn't see Dylan again.
Because the first time it happened, he definitely was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting in. I'm getting in this game."
I love it. Yeah, Dylan Jones, apparently, I just Googled it. A bunch of people are like, strange, Dylan Jones, the first person to check in for OKC?
This is just another just magical detail of the Nikola Jokic experience.
I love it.
First half, he's trying to play as fast as possible. Fourth quarter, he's wasting every lasting second off the clock.
I also love that Dylan Jones was with no way part of this scheme. Allegedly, when he because he was the first sub. So he goes to him, and apparently Dylan Jones was like, "Me?" So he's not
I
even
haven't
telling
played in
him.
weeks.
He's like, "Dylan Jones, get in there." Actually, Dylan Jones, come back. Go back, check in. Come back. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Pissed off.
He's like texting his agent at halftime. I don't know what this Dagnall guy's doing, man. Get me out of here.
I love what Jokic does to a
So
coach.
impressed with his little self. I've got a little tactic.
And he's just probably sitting
Yeah,
there
I've
thinking
seen
about
this
it
one
too.
before.
Yeah, he's like, wait, so I'm going
Oh
up
my
there, so they're
God.
stopping the game.
It's like
and then
we
coming back.
I'm telling you, we used to have it's the 2-for-1. You try to go for a 2-for-1, but then teams have figured out the 3-for-4. Like if you do it at a certain time, and then do you guys know the Pacers is if they have the ball and there's like 10 seconds differential between shot clock and game clock, they'll send everybody to offensive rebound. Because when you get a defensive rebound, you walk it up so you can get last shot. I just love that there's all these layers of dumb strategy that all these coaches are just trying to find an edge. And today is by far the dumbest strategy ever. This is dumber than the Jason Kidd's spill ice on the floor tactic. That one is less
That one's
dumb than
actually
this
pretty
one.
smart. That was smart from
This
Jacob.
is dumber than that, but in the same corner.
But my thing is just like, think about them as a coaching staff sitting there and thinking about what are ways that we could slow down this team, who's not even like the fastest team in the NBA or like in that way. It's just like we're gonna just think of tactics and
like-
strategies to
They're
like not
I,
let them.
I came up with one weird
inbound.
trick.
Yeah, there are people in like video games that like find ways to get out of the level. And they're like,
Scumbag.
okay, now that you did that, now what? It really didn't slow him down. It didn't really stop him, and now you got a delay of game warning. So like you did that just to say like, oh, I was smarter than you. Like it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's so funny, though. I just love it, man. Yoke's getting his head so much.
Oh, he's so in their head.
I love it, man.
Meanwhile, Yoke's just scheming at the end of quarters how to get the heave attempt.
I'll be honest, Yoke, as much as you hate this for Dag Knight, Yoke has a couple of these things.
does.
That's what I was going to say. This
Tied the
is
shoe
Jokic
in
is
front
a
of the
player.
ref so they can get off the challenge.
Yeah, Jokic totally looked at that and was like,
Jokic is the
"That's smart."
greatest player that maybe has ever
Jokic should
played.
have sent
Mark
Spencer
Dagnall
Jones
is a
out
fucking
there
whatever.
next game.
Today he tried to like waste time by like arguing with the ref. The ref is like, I'll argue with you, but I'm still gonna count. He's
Yoke
like,
was
"Oh,
so
damn."
pissed he didn't get the heave attempt at the end of the third quarter.
I love it so much, man. I
Furious.
just find it so funny. The big thing here, though, the Nuggets get their best win of the year. Their two best wins of the year now come against Oklahoma City, and they get the monkey off their back. They desperately needed to do this, in my opinion. They desperately needed to like have one of these, and they got it. Actually, by the way, we need to go to our UC Health Live Extraordinary Player of the Game. Presented by
who do
UC
you
Health.
think it- who do you
I
think it was?
actually
Adam
don't.
is-
I don't
drum
know.
roll, please.
I don't know who it is because
Adam
I
thinks it's
think
Pickett.
We never
Well,
know who it is.
It could be
Jokic.
MV4 coming. MV4. I gotta say, MV4 doesn't work. If he were to win a fourth MVP, we need something different.
Yeah. MV3 was perfect.
I don't think now's the time to think about it.
Oh, we can brainstorm.
4 VP.
We got to work on it.
MV4
VP.
4 VP.
We got to work on it. Learn more about living like there is a tomorrow. Go to uchealth.org for more info. UC Health. Live extraordinary. Should we go to Superchats?
Jokic is definitely reminding me that there is a tomorrow.
We certainly have enough to fill the rest of
Did you ever, really quickly, did you ever see the episode of Detroiters where
Never
they came
heard
out with
that
a
show.
T-shirt and it said Detroit, but the T was a 2, but like it didn't mean anything? They were like, it said D2 Troit. And they were like, why is it 2? They're like, I don't know. The people just make the shirts with this.
Very random.
That must be a guy who makes shirt jokes.
Yeah, he did that yesterday. I don't know why he's laughing about it.
This is me. Okay, Derrick Henry. Russ, a.k.a. Brody, gets my game ball. Corner threes was clutch from him this game, along with playing and rebounding. He was everywhere tonight.
Hey, man. Well,
He absolutely was. He was great.
I know it's corny. This is a total night you could have given the game ball to a bunch of different guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Honey.
Yoke did almost put up a
The
30,
game ball
20
goes to
for the 6th time ever.
The friends we made along the way.
Fire up that bacometer for Maul. So inspirational.
He said inspirational.
I agree. Fire it up, Gale! Is Jamal back? Do we know if he's back officially or no? We don't know.
I mean, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on
We
that.
don't know.
Denver Ghost. I thought MVP season was over. Pineapple Express. James Doubt It. That's a great last name if that's how it's pronounced. Our only championship was in the year Jokic lost MVP to Joel Fraud.
Yes.
I hope Jokic loses this year to Shoddy GA so we can finally get title number 2.
We are feeling ourselves as a people. I love it. Like we're
Yeah.
starting to come up with new insults. I'm going after Mark Dagnall.
Andrew Sullivan. You hitting Dagnall is perfect.
I love it.
Dude, you hate that was so random. I loved it.
I've
though.
hated him the
So
whole
good.
time. I just
just
listen to
kept it
everybody.
secret.
I
We
just
just
always
haven't let
no. I
anyone
just
know.
always listen. Everyone's like, oh, that guy. And I'm like,
Dude, he used Dylan Jones as this nice little decoy.
it's just unbelievable. And then I watch him. He's just chewing gum the whole time. Like, come on, get out of here, Dagnall.
Andrew Sullivan, finally a good signature win in this part of the season. They'll get another one on Wednesday if this version of the team shows up. Also, thank you, Nets. Nuggets are the 2 seed again. Go Avs.
Go Avs.
Oh, Avs.
Emily H. Refs clearly want SGA voted as NBA's precious, untouchable prom king. Not calling it MVP anymore.
so good.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, so wait, Jokic's MP most prom K4?
What? Doesn't make
He
sense.
wouldn't be prom king.
He's just prom king.
Ooh,
He would be
a
prom
50
king.
piece right here. You see, there's a 50 piece.
Hey!
A guy, a dog, a GoPro, author of some of the most legendary super chats in this show's history. Denver can't lose second game back-to-backs. Huge stat for the playoffs. MPJ with the Patrick Surtain pick in the 4th. Murray proving OKC can't guard him despite the haters. Swatson banging threes. I'm hype, boys. It's okay to smile, D-line.
Yeah.
Hope is kindled.
Yeah. Wait, that doesn't mean reading, right? A Kindle? I don't know.
You don't do that. No.
Salt Lake Nugget. Remember, everybody, lightning is what actually shows the electricity, while the thunder is just a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hola, D-line.
Hola, D-line.
Take that.
Uncle Rico's revenge. Is it too late to
Unforgiving.
change your vote, Perk?
Perk was never voting for
His
you.
vote is Perky.
He's never actually voted for Yoke. Justin Cochran. Sure. Watching the Avs game, but tapping it to say, we are so back.
We are so back, and the Avs are so back. Dude, I would say as a people, we are so back.
We're so bad.
The Denverites.
I've said this many times. You can distill life back to either you're back or you're not back.
And
right now, we're back.
We're currently back.
Stefan, what a team effort. All the Nuggets are good.
All the
go.
Nuggets are good.
All of them.
Smuggets Gold. I
We're
am
so
walking away from this back-to-back with vibes at an all-time high.
Yeah, dude.
Denver wins this series if healthy. Gets hard in the playoffs when you
Whoa.
play for the whistle.
You read that differently. I know what that will meant. You read that differently.
Carlos, first super chat
Hell
ever.
yeah, let's go.
Go, Carlos.
Strother's injury, a blessing in disguise.
Oh, man.
I don't like phrasing it that. I hate phrasing it that way.
First super chat. It's pretty mean.
I don't like phrasing it that way.
Silver
but
lining?
Silver lining. Silver lining to him being injured is. I do think the top 8 guys are playing right now.
Joker's wild. Why are we so good at back-to-backs? Also,
algorithm.
Murray's defense is looking a lot better.
I love
Because of the algorithm.
That's probably it. Cole Bressler, this feels like a very repeatable way to win.
It sure the hell does. If you put up 140 points, more often than not, you're going to win that game.
Well, it's the math problem.
Yeah, it's a math problem.
Score more points than they do.
Big Honey, we limit SGA shot attempts and possessions. OKC's offense becomes one-dimensional. As good as their defense is, they can't contain us when we're on fire.
It's true. We do. I mean, listen, they did lose their second All-Star, so that did change things a little bit. But even when he was playing,
we would never speak about us losing a starter.
No, that would
in a
never.
game
That would
like
be in
this.
poor form.
Yeah, we would never talk about
That
that.
would be in poor form.
Drew trading. The focus in the second half will win them the ring.
Let's go, dude. Nothing better. We were dead,
Finished.
as of yesterday.
the
We
ground.
all felt this way. I mean, like the royal we all.
Yeah, the Royal League.
And now,
Cedric Exquisite. No, Eric, we're beyond back. This back-to-back makes us the number 2 seed again, and we need, and all the Nuggets are good-o-meter.
right now, I like that. Right now, all the Nuggets are good.
Good show. Vote if you're watching. Who's ready to beat LA?
Hold on. Did he say good show vote if you're watching?
He's
What are we doing?
Vote. No, it's been a good show, but vote's watching.
Yeah.
Jerry J. Jalen Pickett is ready for prime time.
Playing confident in big moments and can see him hitting shots in the playoffs. I can see it too.
I mean, he's going to play. I can't believe. If it was like 4 weeks ago, it would have been like Jalen Pickett's in the playoff rotation. It'd be like, what?
Dude,
Did everyone get hurt? It's like, no, man, he's just good.
A month ago, we were talking about trading him for David Roddy.
Just as a salary dump because it saved like $800,000.
Grapey. 8-ball corner pocket.
Yes,
This
sir.
felt
Two of
like
them,
the
or three of
first
them.
2 games of a playoff series. Jokic and Murray just stole home court.
Oh, I like that. Kind of was like that.
A guy, a dog, a GoPro again. Dev is the reason I'm going to Mexico for March Madness. Let's go bet 365. Life is too good. Did we win our bets?
Mexico is a great place to be.
I was just there, man.
I'll tell you that
It's
right
incredible.
now.
Well-
Mexico. What do you mean? Well,
Great country.
Where do you just come back from?
There's some parts I'm saying.
Tonight.
Hell yeah.
No. 2 for 3. SGA hit the under.
He didn't bet that.
what? You probably missed a bet, and it was probably a minor.
I mean, literally super chatted after last game saying double SGA and let Dort take as many threes as he wants to. He made a lot, but it's better than Shea taking over.
Sure,
It's
or
so
make
much
Shea,
better.
Great point.
Shea shoot threes. He stinks at those.
Genuinely nice people. Told ya. Never doubt this team. Give CB that DPOG. Give Yoke that MVP. Give us back our damn trophy. We're not just back. We're going to be back on parade.
It is
man.
wild.
That's
I
great.
love this week. We are so
I
bad.
think
God,
that
I
was
love
a-
this show.
I
We
think
are
that was a
so
Canadian.
bad.
But for him to be genuinely nice, there was a lot of not so nice
There
things
was a lot of
said
not
right
so
there.
nice
It was a
in there.
lot.
Yeah.
Told you.
We're living the new tariff era.
Michael Porter Jr., number 2 in franchise threes. MPJ proves OKC equals no physical D.
Let's go.
All right. I love these birds.
Here's a meeting. I know everybody's just like talking back
That's
to
what I'm
us in the
saying.
super chats
But
now.
here's the thing: is that
I don't mind.
this win actually warrants this level of mania.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, everybody's
For sure.
agenda's flourishing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
This is great agenda. This was agendas for sure.
Jamal Murray's back. Cal Booth's a genius.
Oh my god,
Michael
dude.
Porter
We were all
Truther.
suffering from seasonal affected agenda depression, and now the changes. What happened? Mary Agendas, everyone.
Amin, again, Pickett, really a better shooter than Joel.
I think that part might be true.
It is true.
I honestly think that part
It is
might just
true.
unironically true.
One of them takes good shots.
Well,
though,
that's
also.
actually what it is.
Yeah.
5-5-5-5-5-ish. Here we go. Feels like the real guys on the team are finally revealed.
Oh, wow.
437 minutes, 56 seconds down. Only 117 minutes, 4
my
seconds, so
God.
5:55. The bench identity is finally taking shape. All the Nuggets are good.
Dude, what if you
He only
play?
needs 6 minutes and 50 seconds a game to hit 5.
Oh, it's a lock.
No,
I mean,
hey,
it's
man.
a lock.
Listen,
Hey, it's not
What
a
if
lock.
he What if he plays 117 minutes
It is
next
not
game?
a lock.
Well, you know what? That's the only thing that could happen.
Well, yeah.
Are you
dude.
saying the thing that's happened every?
What are you talking about? Yeah, dude,
What are you talking about? You don't know. Don't say
Are
it.
you going to show pride
I'll
before the
stop talking.
basketball gods?
Yeah, geez.
Michael Porter Truther again, just talking shit to us here. Real ones know MPJ was playing with Chet this summer in LA and was the only guy able to guard him in those scrimmages. Had him in prison, check the tape.
Michael
Okay,
Porter
now-
Truther is awesome.
So now I've
That's vote
transitioned
for
from
sure.
thinking Michael Porter Truther is vote. I now think Michael Porter Truther is just one of MPJ's friends.
Yeah, it definitely has to be.
What do you
Man.
mean? Why? He's friends. One of his family members. He's got like 50
Yeah.
of those.
I love it. You know what though? I'm into it. So I'm into it,
for
man.
sure. Man.
Like
Talk all the
50
shit
of
at
those.
us. Kyle M. Hey Adam. Kyle M.
Hell
Hey
yeah.
Adam.
Oh man, I got
Dude,
the
a double hey to Adam?
Never seen that before.
Wow.
Nicholas Geyer. Yo, D-Line, what's good?
Yeah, let's
Been
go. The
listening
Nuggets.
since VSN. Thank you. Hope to get to the bar soon. It was cool meeting y'all years ago. Yeah,
know-
man. Come
How,
back.
how did you get a personal?
Yeah, but for BSN,
You
no
weren't even
less.
a part of that.
He's been listening to you since BSN, man.
Hey guys, listen. Some people,
Harrison.
some people know a little bit more about this. Some people know and appreciate a little bit more about this show than you three.
For sure.
Well, they said, "Hey, Adam," then you got a personal. You got a smack to the face.
You got to thank you for going to Mexico.
If you guys
like
are enjoying the
everybody's.
show on our Fast channel, go ahead and watch the rest of this in overtime on the internet.
Overtime.
Oh man, thought we was never gonna get here.
Now we can curse all we want. Julian Strother lover did all of this without AG and Julian Strother. Yeah. Imagine the playoff series when we meet in the Western Conference Finals. By the way, Adam, you better stop hating on Julian. Maybe
That's
this
a
is
Julian family
Julian
member, yeah.
Strother family
This has been
member.
tough because like the four before this were hating on Julian and we had to read them.
The Superchats have switched to just ripping us now.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, they
I'll
said,
take
"Hey,
it.
Adam."
Yeah, dude.
Joe Clem. This was a sometimes you got to pop out and show Nuggets type of game. Also, this version of Murray and CB comfortably beat 2024 Timberwolves.
I mean, last year Murray just wasn't right, guys. It's a bummer.
Taylor, these back-to-back wins hit so much harder. So proud of this team for fighting back from that tough
I
loss.
know.
Fired up, Kale.
Let's go. Yeah.
There it is. Fired up.
ZL, the Nuggets are insanely good on back-to-back games this year. 11-1, number one in the NBA. Cleveland is second at 11-2. Great to see Denver playing this well. They might have longer series this playoff, but tough to beat.
That's true. They're good when they're fatigued, apparently. So
Sean Crossan, I think Michael Malone deserves some credit too. He
Agree.
was getting criticized pretty hard yesterday. He had some adjustments, and the boys responded.
100%.
Agreed.
100%.
That
This
is-
isn't all the Nuggets are a good day for sure.
Yeah, I mean the lineups they hit. His schemes, like the one we were talking about with Shea, hit.
Yeah. If we don't trash talk Malone, it's like they never say
know.
anything,
Yeah.
like about it. But then we don't give them no love, and it's like they better say something.
Yeah.
They better say something.
We really can't win. We really can't
Well,
win.
here's the one thing I'll tell you guys is that this is not actually one person. This is a lot of different people
Oh, for
with
sure.
different opinions.
And also,
Well, no, it's just Cedric.
Oh, that's actually a
but
fair
also,
point.
Malone did deserve credit after that. What that was,
Oh,
he finally did
absolutely.
adjust. That was big.
Carrot Hammer just got back from the DNVR bar, lit for a Nugs dub, got the payback and a
Wait.
signature win. Player of the game, Pickett bully ball. All Nuggets are good.
Were we hanging out with Carrot Hammer unbeknownst to us?
Wow.
We didn't even know Carrot Hammer was here. We should have announced ourselves.
ZL correction, 12-1 on back-to-backs. Great show, guys.
Let's
Thanks for the
Man,
correction.
ZL.
A $10 correction.
I love that. That is actually shame on him. You know? I love it.
Yeah, don't fact check when you super chat.
Yo, producer James in the chat. Denver Thug.
Oh, Denver Thug, what's up, James? If on 12/27 I told you that Pickett, Zeke, and Russ were playing vital minutes, you'd predict they were what seed? All the Nuggets are good.
That's true, and probably not the 2 seed.
Probably like the 10.
This season is the weirdest one yet.
It's been a
I think it might be the
wild
weirdest
season.
one yet. And we had a season that took place in Disney World.
Sean Crossan
That
again.
was the weirdest one.
There is something about being comfortable at the end of games when you have Jokic on your team.
Oh my
Most
God.
clutch player ever.
He was
beautiful.
clutch tonight, man. We didn't even talk about it, but he put it away.
Man, he was. Here's Jay, 5 pepper take.
Oh, are we back on double parade hope? Yes.
Denver
let's go.
has double parade potential with Avs and Nuggets. Championship
Literally,
City.
Literally yesterday, it was over. It was over.
Yeah,
And
double
parade back on.
Now, Avs and
Double
Nuggets,
parade's
double
on.
parade. I don't know what the city will do.
Yeah, well, listen, everything changes.
Finally, Jay Kerr. Hey, Dev.
Jay Kerr, I take this one personally. Thank you.
What a show.
Kale,
What a
hit
show.
that outro music. We got a show tomorrow too, fellas. Unbelievable. There's Brendan vote in the chat. Oh, he says, "Oh, what's up to Cedric?" I thought he gave some take. Guys, that was the best win of the season. Gonna sleep like a little baby tonight. Just kidding. I'm gonna joy scroll all night long.
I know, right? I don't think I'm
know.
going to sleep tonight. I'm going to just be like in
Yeah,
my
what's
bed.
going to be a keyword that you use?
Oh, me, I'm going to describe myself, jazzed. I want to be jazzed all night. Scrolling the timeline. I get too jazzed up. I can't sleep.
All right, everybody,
What's
we're
the
out of here.
approach to the
Everybody,
game?
hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.